and welcome back to Beneath the Surface. My name is Crystal Hefner, and I've been having so much fun interviewing people on my new podcast, talking to people mainly that I know, close friends, hopefully to get some knowledge and insight to help me on my own life, to help you in your life. It's just been so nice talking to my friends leading up to the release of my book. And once the book is released, I will be talking all things about the book. I will be going chapter by chapter, kind of breaking it down for you guys and letting you know what I was going through and how that place shaped me, and to hopefully help you in the process. There is a lot, and I feel like I'm opening so much with this book, but that's where the podcast will be going. We will be talking chapter by chapter on my upcoming book. And so it's really nice for me to be able to just chat to my friends before that all starts. And my next guest is just such a wonderful person. We met at Comic-Con in New York. She is strong, she's beautiful, she's a badass. She has a lot of lessons I feel that she could teach us all about value and worth and believing in yourself. I'm just so excited. And I recently watched her show, Muscles and Mayhem, on Netflix. It is an incredible documentary. I highly recommend you guys watch it. But let's dive in and talk to her more about it ourselves. And I'd like to introduce you to Lori Ice Federick. Here we go. Here we are.
Let's do this.
My little notes. I know. My memory is so bad. I know, especially because I'm so new. I'm like, okay, I gotta, yeah. But anyway.
I was the same way. I was the exact same way.
In the beginning. You're so seasoned. I'm just like.
No, I'm not.
You're my inspiration.
Okay, so here's what I realized is I had my just bullet points, boom, boom, boom. And I just flowed with the conversation to where if I didn't really hit those, I was like, oh, that's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, to me, I just realized it's just a conversation. That's what people want to hear.
Yeah, it's very, very true. We were just getting into how we met.
Yes.
You're like,
Comic-Con.
Why were you at Comic-Con?
I know. Why were you at Comic-Con?
So random.
Yeah.
So I had first heard about you through my friend Mike, who is also my personal trainer.
Okay.
And Mike is awesome. And he would talk about how he has such a crush on Ice.
Oh my God, how funny. That is so funny.
She is so fucking hot. And then he was saying how you have short hair, and he's like a sucker for that, and tattoos.
What?
And you're just so incredibly in shape and all these things. And then I'm like, oh, I like Ice. And then he's like, let me show you her Instagram. So we pull up your Instagram, and I'm like, holy shit, she is beautiful.
Oh my God, thank you.
But he's like, I would leave my wife for her, but
oh my God.
but I don't have a chance because she's not straight. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, Mike. I'm so sorry, but I'm sure you've gotten that a lot with
oh my God
straight men.
I have, and it's interesting. I've got the I can change you, just give me a chance. And here's the funny thing, and it's like I tell them, and it's like on so many different podcasts I've talked about is it's not that I'm not totally gay. I dated men my entire life, basically. I love the male body. I love having sex with them. I just can't connect.
Interesting.
I can't have an emotional relationship with them. It's very bizarre. I don't know.
Really
I don't know how I'm
interesting.
wired. I don't know why. It's just, it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of makes sense in the way that I feel like the men I connect with most are kind of more feminine.
Yeah.
More sensitive.
Yeah. It's a
very
more sensitive
interesting.
kind of different thing.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what it is. And everybody's trying to analyze me and psychoanalyze me well, maybe you have these issues or those issues. I'm like,
I know.
I don't know. I go, I had a pretty normal childhood, you know. My dad wanted a boy, basically, so I was the tomboy, but it wasn't like I was a tomboy because he wanted a boy. I just was.
Yeah. It's interesting how things work, but
yeah.
And so that happened.
Okay.
And so I learned of you, and then my friend, she was going to Comic-Con on her own. She works with Vivi, which does Disney NFTs, the Web3 space. I know we had talked a little about that before. So she said, I'll be at Comic-Con in New York. I'm by myself. She's married with kids, and so she's just gonna take a break and go be by herself. And so I said, okay, I'll just I'll come hang out with you and go to Comic-Con. I love Comic-Con. I love all things like fantasy.
That was my first Comic-Con ever.
It was?
I've been to, yeah.
Oh,
I was tripping out on everybody, how they dress up.
Yes.
I saw more Spider-Man outfit with a pooch belly that shouldn't have been having a pooch belly.
I didn't see those. I just saw like God. The hot, like, I was like jealous of so many people's outfits and bodies.
Some of them were amazing.
I didn't see Pooch Spider-Man, but
oh God, I saw so many.
It's so funny. You could be whoever you want in Comic-Con, I guess.
Exactly.
But I grew up going to Comic-Con in San Diego, so I was a little bit used to
the biggest one. That is the biggest one, by the way. Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, I worked there, like some modeling stuff before LA, but so I went there and I was just walking around like each aisle and checking everything out. I love like all of the things, and there was like a lot of nostalgia things there that I noticed.
A lot.
And I wanted to get into that too, but I walked by and I saw, American Gladiators booth, and I was like, oh my God, this, like, I think of Mike, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I wonder if Lori's here, and so I see you, and all of you together, it's like this larger than life like vibe.
I know. Yeah.
It was like, whoa.
It's really cool.
It was like a magnetic feeling.
Oh, that's
cool. It's very cool. Okay. And like, okay, I have to, and I saw that you guys were signing. So I'm like, I have to get, something signed for Mike. And he was so grateful. And I remember, I think I tagged you on Instagram.
You did. And when you tagged me, I'm going to be honest, I went, oh, holy shit. Oh my God. And I was like, look at this.
So
look at this. And I was
cute.
like so psyched because when you're signing autographs like that, I mean, you know this, you got to know this. It's like when there's so many people around you and people are coming at you, you don't get to sometimes look up and see who's who, and you're just like picture after picture after picture after picture.
Like autopilot.
Yeah, in a way. And so, I mean, and so it's like when I saw that, I was like, oh, I seriously went, how the fuck did I miss this girl?
So funny.
You know what I mean?
I was just like hiding and, didn't even have any makeup on. I was just whatever. So I probably was just like, oh, thanks, bye.
Pretty much, probably.
But yeah, it was really awesome to meet you and start talking to each other like on Instagram, and it was cute talking about like maybe like working out and
oh my God, I know when you're gonna laugh at this, but I mean, I only geek out over certain people. You know what I mean? And when I was in San Diego, and that's when we started texting each other. When I was in San Diego, I'm like, oh my God, look who texts me. I don't know if you've ever done that before. I was like, holy shit, and it's just like, it's just fun, because when you start watching people on television or you see, or who they are, sometimes you wonder what their personality is like.
Yeah.
If it's them or if it's a persona that they're playing or something like that. I met Kevin Costner and his wife Christine, because Christine and I became friends. Aww. And so we used to go up and hang out at the house and play racquetball. And when I met Kevin, I was like, holy shit, it's exactly the same person that's in every single movie.
That's cool.
It's like his personality doesn't really change. Yeah. And he's just so chill and down to earth. So yeah, it was pretty cool when you text me and I was like, yes!
That's so nice.
It was awesome.
That's so nice. Yeah, and I loved like starting to talk to you and get to know you. And I do feel like we both came from these like almost like fantasy worlds.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely.
And around the same time too, because it was like you were there like almost 10 years and so was I. And it's just like a crazy moment in time. Mm-hmm. And so I was happy to like learn more about you and watch the documentary. And I was obsessed. Like I became obsessed. And it's something, when I was very young, I lived in England. So I didn't really watch the show. Mm-hmm. But now that I'm more aware, I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to see like every episode.
That's funny.
And I think also like things that, well, like in my world, with Playboy, like some of the girls next door, they started a podcast, and that was like in the early 2000s when they were on the show. And I feel like the nostalgia is like coming back, like making a huge comeback.
It is nostalgia right now, because I think the world is so like, it needs something to like grab onto that people can remember when it was simple.
Yeah.
And they can remember a time to when everything was kind of calm and like whether they were with their family or their brothers or sisters or something like that, they just love to go back to that time. To where right now I think everything is so crazy and just, you know, up in the air, and it's like there's nothing grounding anyone.
Yeah.
You know, and I think the nostalgia of our show and everything else, it kind of grounds people. It brings them back to the time that they can remember.
Yeah.
You know, and so I think right now it's just pretty cool, like how all that is working.
Yeah.
You know, kind of in our favor, to be honest with you.
I mean, completely. And I think so many things right now are like oversaturated and stuff. And yeah, people are wanting to just get back to kind of before.
Yeah.
And I feel like so many things are getting rediscovered and, you know, another, you know, round two on, on a lot of things.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember like the actress from White Lotus. She's like, oh, I thought my career was a little over, but here I am, like Jennifer Coolidge, I think. And she's like round two, and here I am. And there's a lot of nostalgia things. And I did notice that in Comic-Con. Like I walked by and there's like a big Tamagotchi booth.
Yeah.
Do you remember those? Or like those little pets you have to keep alive on a keychain. So I bought a couple and I tagged them, and they wrote me back, and they're like, oh, we'd like to send you some Tamagotchi. I'm like, oh my God.
That is so awesome.
But these like current things, I'd be like, oh, you know, whatever, maybe. But it was like, oh, childhood nostalgia. I'm like, yes, Tamagotchi, I'm obsessed. You know, post it, like, it all for free. Like,
yeah, exactly.
The nostalgia stuff is just, I think it's a time where things were like more wholesome and
yeah. Exactly. It wasn't so crazy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's very bizarre out there right now, I think. I don't know. Yeah. And then I kind of feel like my mom when I say that. I'm like, oh my God.
I know.
Sounding like my parents now.
You're like, I remember
when I was young.
I'm like, never going to be. Yeah. Yeah. So I watched the documentary. I've started watching like, you know, everything with you in it. And I listened to part of a podcast where I think it was Adam Carolla, where you talked about how the Netflix documentary like spoke to all of you separately.
Yes.
And then you're like, why didn't we all like go together? Like
they missed the boat completely. Each gladiator, first of all, the team got separated. The first documentary that came out was an ESPN 30 for 30 documentary, believe it or not. Oh. And it was the creator of the show that called us all and went, hey, I'm doing a documentary and they're doing it about me and we'd love to have you on. No, nobody gives a shit who you are. Nobody cares who you are. Nobody even knows who you are.
Yeah.
The show's going to be about us and we know it. Because at the end of his little spiel was, oh, and there's no pay.
Wow, my gosh.
We got paid shit through the show, so I don't see why would that change now. And so I kind of gathered the team and I was like, I don't know, you guys. I don't want to do it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I said, how would you feel if this got picked up? Because they didn't know where they were going to shop it yet.
I see.
How would you feel if it got picked up from Netflix, which was just kind of like one of those things. You're sitting on the couch and you know they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars and you still can't even pay your mortgage.
Yeah.
I go, is that going to piss you off? And they're like, yeah, it is. So it separated the team and we opted out not to do that documentary. And I'm so glad we didn't because it's really bad. It's terrible. Well, Nitro actually pitched it to Netflix and I got to be a co-producer on it. And we kind of gathered the team, and I call it the A team. Sorry, but there's an A list and there's a B list. Okay, so the A team went to Netflix, and it turned out great. You know, it's like the 5-part series was The Muscles and Mayhem was amazing, and I'll be honest, to this day, 35 years later, we're still getting cease and desist letters. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't use your name. You can't use the logo. You can't. And I was like, okay, this is such bullshit. We're fighting it now.
Oh my gosh. From who is that? Is that like that Goldwyn company or?
Well, the first one that's coming, the one that's coming after us, the hardest, I think, is the guy who owns a trademark, which is Johnny Ferraro.
And is that the dildo guy?
No, that was the producer. That was Aton.
Yeah, you guys have to see it to understand what that means.
He was like way off the charts on that one. It's so funny. Talk about, sexual harassment. That's Aton. But no, Johnny was the Elvis impersonator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was the
Just
Elvis.
as interesting.
Exactly.
Weirdly interesting.
Like the used car salesman Elvis, you know, is what I call him. But interesting. He's the one that I don't know what he just nobody gets along with him. Nobody likes him. He hates all of us, and especially since we didn't do his documentary. Now he's coming after all the ones who did the Muscles of Mayhem on Netflix.
Oh my God.
Like, I was just talking to a gladiator this morning. I said, what I don't think he's talk about a narcissist. Holy shit. This man is like beyond. It's like he is obsessed with not letting us do shit.
Ugh.
Okay. So,
Oh my gosh.
and I told her this morning, I said, what I don't understand is if it weren't for us, his brand would be dead in the water. Yeah. Nobody's hurting his brand. We're enhancing his brand. Absolutely. You know, so it's so frustrating. And yeah, to this day. So it's just like, you know, it's a battle. It's a battle, but this time we're pulling together, you know, and we're going to fight it because they're trying to prevent us from making a living.
Yeah.
They literally want us to take everything off of our social media. Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
How is that even possible?
Yeah.
So
like
it's frustrating.
Can't be yourself.
No. And so I was on a show that was literally kind of like the dream job that turned into the nightmare after it was over. Because we couldn't, I mean, it's like, okay, we're going to build you up. I'm going to put you way up here and it's going to be awesome and you're going to be super famous for a short time. And then after it's done, guess what? You go right back to Lori. You can't do anything. You can't say the name. You can't use the show. You can't say the program. It's like, are you kidding me? That was my past for 10 years. Yeah. And you just want to pretend like I erase it? Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Oh my gosh. I had no idea that was going on.
Yep.
And that guy sounds like
He's
horrible
a nightmare. He's
narcissist. If he wasn't a narcissist and he just loved you guys and he's obviously jealous.
I don't know what it is.
He wants the attention. Like,
I don't know
feel
what
like
it
he
is.
wants all the accolades, but you know, he's the one that would get like totally booted off if he was like, and they're like actually like,
yeah, I know, it's crazy.
Competing.
And even when we go to ask for any kind of permission, he wants at least 50% of whatever we're going to get.
What the heck?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
It's insane. And so the battle is just, it's crazy. And some of the gladiators just gave up and they just said, forget it. It's not worth it. And I'm like,
It's worth it.
It's worth it.
And I feel like the climate is a little bit changing now to where, you know, people are realizing their mistakes and people are taking things into their own hands. And I remember when Instagram started and the girls were kind of monetizing and a photographer, she was really sweet and she said to me, oh, it's so nice that people are able to take things in their own hands and not be dictated what to do by like a rich old man. And then she like looked at me and she's like, oh, sorry, like I didn't, no offense, because of the heft stuff.
Right.
But yeah, people are, I feel like, rising up against that kind of person.
God, I hope.
And I hope, like, I don't know, it's almost
legal. Like I literally want to find the biggest pit bull attorney that would just bury him.
Yes.
That's what I need.
Yeah.
That's what I need.
Let's do it.
Because personally, I think there's so many holes in it. You know, their claims and everything. It's just like, there's something here and I know it's here. And they're just, you know what they're doing? They're trying to scare us.
Yeah, I think
they're trying to scare us because they're like, literally, they're sending like 250 page, like, it's like, seriously?
I wonder who's paying for all of that.
Well, I think it's either him or it's the MGM. And then somebody said, well, it looks like they want a clean house right now because Amazon bought MGM. Oh. And Amazon rules the world now. But at the same time, they're so big. Why do they give a shit what we're doing on social media?
Let everyone have fun.
Yeah.
And I think
let everybody eat.
It's just him.
Is really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
You know, one of my managers, she gave me a great little thing. And this guy sent me some baseball cards to sign. Aww. And he sent because we all have our baseball cards. Yeah. And he sent literally like 50 of them. Okay. And there are 3. So there was like, maybe, I don't know, it was like 15, something like that. And they were all 3 different ones. And I actually emailed him. I go, are you selling these? Yeah. He goes, oh no, not selling. I'm like thinking, Really?
Was it like
Why would you send me like 45?
Was it like the same card? Or?
Yes.
Oh my
exactly.
gosh.
But the funny thing is my manager, she goes, you know what, Lori? Let him eat. Who cares?
Really?
And I went, you know what? You're right. Who cares? I mean, what's he going to do? He's going to sell them for a few bucks. It's not a big deal. But that's what I was saying. It's kind of like karma.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it is karma. And have you seen them on eBay?
Yeah.
you're like the
I see them on eBay. We have little figurines. We have, and they're selling those on eBay, our little action figures.
Oh my gosh.
Which is hysterical.
Yeah, that sucks. I fell into a similar trap with this bench warmer trading cards. Have you heard of those?
Yes, kind of, sort of. It sounds
this guy,
super
Brian
familiar.
Wallows, who is a total perv. Sorry, that's my new word from Candace Owens.
Right, Candace, take it. Perv.
But he paid me $1,000 and had me sign I don't know, it felt like thousands of cards.
Wow.
But I see them on eBay.
Yeah, of course.
Bench warmer, I don't know what they were. But yeah, I guess.
At least you got $1,000 for it. This guy just didn't even send.
I know.
I had to actually put a stamp on my own stamp on it and send it back.
No.
Nah, it's all good.
Oh my
I really
gosh.
don't mind. I mean, people send me a lot of photos to sign and stuff, and it's fine.
That's really sweet. So you have him a mailing address people can.
No, unfortunately, I have no idea how they find my address, and I don't like it. I'm all over the internet. I've tried to wipe it clean before, and it just keeps coming back.
Okay, well, don't send anything to Lori's house.
Yeah, exactly. I do have a P.O. box.
It's really scary. I know. I had to move because of that.
Did you?
Yeah. I'm sure you probably had a stalker or two.
I had one. It was a female, and she was more scary than a male because we can be way more devious.
Oh my gosh.
We can be way more manipulative, I think.
Oh my gosh, I have to know what happened.
I actually hired someone to take care of the problem, and she went away. I don't know. He told me, he goes, don't ask any questions. Believe it or not, this was way back in the day. Like
80s or 90s?
It was a huge dude that handled Michael Jackson and all these superstars.
Like a fixer?
Like a fixer. He would people would go to him and go, hey, I have stalkers. Can you help me? And I don't know how I found him, but I found him and I went to his house and he wanted me to train his wife, and I did. And he goes, okay, so I'm going to take care of it. I walked in his office. I had 2 boxes, 2 big, huge boxes. That was before internet, before we could email everything. Yeah. Everything was in a letter. She would write a letter 10 pages a day.
Oh,
a day.
Gosh.
And then it got to the point to where she was like, oh, if you didn't have your girlfriend in the picture, I'm sure I would be your girlfriend. I was like, whoa.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
How did she know you had a girlfriend? Did you post about it?
No.
She just knew.
Yeah.
She just knew.
Yeah. At the time, it was just so creepy and scary and weird. And he took care of her. I don't know what happened to her. I just never heard from her again. I was like, thank God. And it went away.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I had to hire somebody to do that.
It's really scary. I wonder how things cross the line mentally for people. Where it's oh, I'm actually going to scare this person if I...
I don't know. I mean, it's weird how people get obsessed with people. I would imagine you would get a hell of a lot more than I would. I mean,
I think that about you because it's I saw all this stuff. I'm like, wow. For me, I just had one person that was driving from Florida so we could be together.
Wow.
And he would send flowers to the house that was public.
Ooh.
And so I had to move because you look at these people's profiles and you're just it's scary.
Have you ever met somebody before and you look them in the eye and you're just like, ooh, creepy.
Oh my gosh.
Bye-bye, Gaga.
There's a lot. I kind of struggle with that because
kind of don't make eye contact.
Yeah. My world is Playboy. So a lot of the fans and stuff, I'm like, oh, these are just pervy dudes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you get a lot of those kind of.
I do. I just try to ignore, and even on my social media, if they say something on my social media, because actually my TikTok is bigger than my Instagram. That's where I started my social media.
TikTok is awesome.
And I got I started and I think I have I'm up to 275,000 on there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've watched all of your TikToks.
Oh my God. They're so much
anyone
fun.
hasn't seen her TikTok, watch all of them. They're amazing.
So much fun doing them. I'm running out of ideas though. I'll be honest with you. Gosh. I mean, do you ever run out of ideas?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's some of these influencers are just
paralysis.
Yeah.
Content paralysis.
And then I'm like, I just don't want to put the effort sometimes.
I
It's like,
know.
I don't want to do the hair and the makeup. Can I just put a baseball hat on? And where's my makeup app?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Face app.
Yes.
That's like totally the secret face app for everything.
know.
But yeah, it is hard coming up with content, and staying consistent is like the key to all of it.
Super, super key. Yeah.
It's really hard, but
I know.
yeah. And then that way the fans can keep up, hopefully the non-creepy ones. People probably like got really excited to see, because you're like fighting and you're like, going against people, and people probably think that's sexy. Like,
I think they do. I think they like the strong female. And it's interesting because when I was doing Gladiators back then, I don't know, there was something, I don't know. I was always insecure about the way I was. I mean, I think every person thinks maybe it's grass is greener on the other side, or if they looked a certain way, things would be different. I don't know. I always had an insecurity, believe it or not, of being who I was back then.
Really?
Yeah.
And who would you say like that was? Like that you were...
I had an insecurity about being the tomboy, about being muscular, about, even though at the same time, which is interesting, I was insecure about it, but I did it anyway. Yeah. So psychological, I don't know how that works. But anyway, I was just like, I loved being strong and I loved, all that. But I always saw the guys. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Okay. Psychoanalyze this. I'm bisexual, but yet I'm gay, like that. It's like I flip back and forth, but yet at the time, having girlfriends and stuff. But the guys would always look at like the girls like you, like they're thin and they have big boobs and blonde hair. And I was more the tomboy and kind of muscular. So they wouldn't pay attention to me. So I was kind of like, fuck you.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it was like I had a small insecurity until I actually became older and went, very comfortable finally with who I am. It took a while though. It did.
Wow.
Because I always kept thinking, why don't I get that attention?
Yeah.
So who knows?
Oh my gosh.
We're all messed up in so
hard.
many ways.
I know. It's like that. It's like the Playboy world too, taking the implants out. I'm like, oh, now like no one will like me. I'm like, oh, that's awful.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. I don't know why we're conditioned certain ways, or I don't know.
Being human.
What?
I want to know all those.
I know. I have my notes.
I want to know all those notes. I would love to see all those notes.
My handwriting totally sucks. This says like, what were the fans like? Because the fans are weird. I've had like very weird fans, but I've also had fans that have become friends.
I haven't. Well, okay. Kind of did. I had one fan, which was interesting, that has turned out to be a great friend, which is interesting. And I always tease her about that because I was on my Instagram and she sent me a message and it was after the Muscles of Mayhem. And it was just like a photo, just like, hey, click. And I was like, hey, and I actually wrote back and she was like, oh, holy shit, I didn't expect this.
Aww.
And we just became instant friends because like the personalities clicked. It was fun. Yeah. She was normal.
Yeah. There are some nice normal people. And there's like a quote that's something about like your greatest supporters will be strangers. And I feel like people close to me have, I'm like, oh, I don't know. But like people that I don't know that well, they're just like rooting for me so hard that I'm like, I want to get to know these people that are just. Yeah.
They can be your biggest fans and your biggest supporters.
Yeah.
And I think I might have shied away in the past from that because I was kind of maybe afraid of them because I had the stalker.
Yeah.
And I was afraid to answer like, I would answer like, oh, thank you. Or I really appreciate that. Yeah. But nothing more than that. I would never get into an actual conversation with them.
Yeah. I think I don't know how like it ends up being that way. Just naturally it kind of progresses. Some people more than others. But I don't know how that happens. Like, on each end.
And then I also get the creepy ones that are going, I want to take care of you. I want to support you. Can I send you money? How much you want to send me? What do I got to do?
Like, show me your feet. No,
right. Oh my God. I laugh about that because I always laugh and I go, I have perfect feet.
Oh my gosh, you do. That's
cool. I could totally do an OnlyFans like per feet.
Oh my gosh. Like, I noticed there's like a thing called Wiki Feet. Have you heard of that?
No.
Oh, I have a profile on Wiki Feet.
Oh, how funny.
It's like anytime like feet are shown, they like put them on like a Wiki Feet.
People are very strange with feet. I don't get it. I don't understand the foot fetish thing, you know?
But, yeah. Do you try and write back to fans like as much as you can?
I do.
Yeah,
I
me
do.
too. Like I try and respond to all the comments.
I really do. And people are like actually shocked that I respond back.
Yeah,
I was like,
I mean, I think
doesn't
it feels
everybody?
good
They're like,
for
no.
people. I mean, it feels good for me when I'm watching like a friend's live video and like I type in like hearts and they're like, "Oh, hey, Crystal." I'm like, "Oh, that's
Exactly.
I'm here." Like I know
They
them. So I can imagine what that feels like for other people.
I did a couple TikTok lives, and I got kicked off once.
Really?
Because I had a guy on there, and I was drinking, I don't know, Perrier or something like that. And he's like, "What are you drinking?" And I was like, "Just Perrier." You know, kept talking to everybody else. And he goes, "Can you burp for me?" And I was like, I ignored it. And I just kept talking to everybody else. And he kept going back like every 5 minutes. "Are you going to burp? Can you burp for me?" And then come to find out, apparently that's a thing now. I'm like, what isn't a thing? You know, it was like, there's a thing to where it's like these guys love to hear chicks burp. And trust me, I can let it rip, you know?
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
But finally, like towards the end, I went, "Dude, stop," you know?
Yeah.
And then I did another TikTok live, like maybe 5 days later, and he was on there again. And right when he started, I kind of went off on him. I did kind of go off on him. And next thing I know, like 3 minutes later, I got canceled. That little SOB went and like turned me in. I hurt his feelings.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So just if one person reports something, even if it's a lie, it gets shut off?
Yep.
Can you go live again still?
Oh, yeah. But they give you like a 72 hour window or something like that to where you can't go live.
Oh my gosh.
It's like they put you in timeout jail.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I can't even go on TikTok live because I don't have enough followers there.
No way.
I know. All my people are on Instagram.
See, I'm trying to build my Instagram up, you know, but
It's
TikTok
hard.
just went like that. It just took off. TikTok grew so fast compared to Instagram. You would be shocked.
Really?
If
Maybe
you
I
went
should
on
give
TikTok.
a go. I just thought I don't know, it's for like younger crowd.
No, it's like, I get all my news. I'm kidding.
Learn all the hottest new dance routines.
Exactly. I was like, hey, I can do this. Applebee's.
Is that one?
Yeah, Applebee's date night by I think it's Walker Hayes. It's so cute.
Okay, I gotta look that one up.
Oh yeah. And
Even
there's
though-
like
even
he
though
has
I
a
hate
couple
chain
good
rest-
dance ones.
Chain restaurants are hard.
Oh yeah, I know, right? It was like on a date night. Oh yeah, anyway.
Oh my gosh. We should do a video. But,
Oh my God, I would love to do a TikTok video with you.
do
It would blow up. And see, that's where you start. You start by doing
Yeah.
a small little TikTok, like, you know, fun video, and it just like explodes and goes off.
collaborating and stuff. That's how I started with Instagram, honestly. Like I would collaborate with different girls.
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Oh, follow my friend." And they'd be like, "Oh, follow my friend." It's kind of how it started. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about was I kind of relate in the way like it's like this on top of the world feeling, like with Gladiators, and it's like I felt on top of the world like when I was with Playboy and Hef, and you know when I went with him to different places, like we went in style.
Yeah.
You're like, wow,
The
I'm
C parts.
somebody, like I'm important. You know,
Yeah.
mine was by association, but it's still I felt important, and I think in the podcast you were talking about how you know you had tours and cars and wait, like
Yeah.
it felt very like VIP.
Yes.
And for me, it was like an adjustment because, a lot of the things I went on, like private planes and all those things, those were like companies that had bought them for Hef. It wasn't something he would really splurge on. But yeah, that kind of lifestyle. And then like going to, I love my life now, but it's interesting, like
a little different.
to experience that. And then versus now.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then another part of it is like looking back, it feels like I'm watching somebody else's life, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, so that's it.
It's like a loaded bunch of questions, but how did it feel like being on top of the world? and like feeling that way and
then dropping back down into the
being you
normal
or being
into the normal street level.
I mean, I don't think you'll ever be normal street level, but
it's interesting. It played with my head a lot,
Really?
to be honest with you. Yeah, it did. I felt like I lost my identity for a while of who I truly was. You know, was I Ice? Was I an American Gladiator? Was I Lori? I mean, where's the difference?
Yeah.
You know, and it was a struggle. It was a struggle for the first, God, still no, 35 years later, still a struggle.
No, I can relate in that way because it's like, I'm still trying to figure out who I am without that. But a part of you will always be that. So.
A part of you, a big part of you. I mean, it has molded who we are today, you know, and without our experiences, we wouldn't be where we're at today whatsoever. So there's nothing that I would take back or regret doing. It was a ride. It was a journey. I loved every second of it. I don't know if I was in the moment at the time because it was so like, you know, it felt like I was going so fast, especially like on our tour when we were doing Madison Square Gardens and, you know, competing in front of like 20,000 people, chanting and cheering your name. And it was just such a high.
Oh my gosh.
My girlfriend, it was funny, April, we were watching the documentary and like the first couple weeks that it was on, like we always leave the TV on for the dogs, you know, when we leave the house, you know, so there's some kind of, you know, voice. And so I'd always turn on the documentary.
That's so cute. So they could hear Mom.
Yeah, exactly. And so we were watching it and there was a part that I was like running around. I had my hat in my hand and I was like, just kind of like running around and swirling my hat in my hand. And April goes, "Oh my God, you look like you're having an ego-gasm." And I was like, what the fuck is an ego-gasm? And she goes, "You could just tell that you were on top of the world at that moment."
Wow.
You know, so it was just kind of really surreal, I want to say.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, I would feel like nervous. Did you ever feel? I guess after you had your team, you had your family.
I can't say that I felt. Did I feel nervous?
So many people just like screaming your name, like they're all here.
I fell on my face once.
You did?
Oh my God, it was so funny. So that made me nervous.
Oh my gosh.
Because the lights were all out. They were playing the music. The spotlight would come on us when they called our name. They're like, you know, 145, blah, 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 ice, baby, you know, and then they'd play our song, you know, and thank God, you know, Vanilla Ice came out with thank you, Vanilla Ice, for doing Ice, Baby, by the way. It like totally projected my
Oh my gosh,
career
when was
up.
that? Like, was it?
It was literally the first year I was on the show, that song came out.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it couldn't have been better timing.
That is
and it was
incredible.
just like, dun, 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 dun. You know, so they would play the song at Madison Square Gardens, but there was one time I forgot what arena I was playing in, but the spotlight hit me and all of a sudden I disappeared because I tripped over the wires or the carpet or something. And I was running out, yay. So it was like one of those most embarrassing moments at the time, you know, it's like, where'd she go?
Oh no. So you just got up and like recovered.
Yep, just got up like nothing happened, you know, and just kept running.
Oh my gosh.
But
that's like when you see people like Beyonce or whatever, they like slip on stage and they just recover. So
it's like boop, boop, you know, right back up again.
Yeah.
But yeah, being on top of the world like that and just running around and having those moments in the, you know, the limelight, it's just the most amazing feeling in the world.
Yeah.
It really was. And so coming down from all that, unbelievable. I mean, it was hard coming down from all that. Trying to find my footing and trying to figure out what my next move was. And, you know, I enjoyed the lifestyle so much.
Yeah, the lifestyle for
that,
sure.
Yeah.
And you think it's never going to end. You don't think of the end, I think. Well, at least I didn't when I was in it.
I didn't.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, wow, this is my life now.
It's going to last forever. You know, it's going to be forever. But I don't think anything lasts forever, and
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
true.
supposed to last forever because life is forever changing.
Yeah.
And I love the one saying that the only thing that changes is, wait, what is it saying? It says, the only thing that remains the same is change.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
You
It's
know?
true. Change
And so we're not supposed to have something last like that forever. It's just not I mean, as much as we all want it to, unfortunately, we'd be different people. We'd start taking it, I don't know, maybe start taking it for granted. Maybe, I mean, I don't know. Let's look at your past, Hef, for instance, when he first started the magazine.
Yeah.
I wonder if he ever thought that this was going to last forever. But look what happened to him, because it did last forever.
I know, it lasts his whole life.
Yeah. But look at his personality and what happened because it lasted forever.
Yeah.
Was he always a narcissist? Was he always a controlling guy?
Yeah,
Was
who
he always that
knows?
way? Or did it happen over time because it was something that was a constant?
Yeah.
And then
maybe he got jaded and
that's what I mean. Exactly.
Yeah,
Maybe.
True.
Who knows?
He was always that way.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting they're all dead now, but figure out, who knew him back then when he was just a young pup, know?
I know. Some are maybe still alive, like his first wife, but yeah, I'm glad. It makes us like appreciate the experience and stay wholesome and grounded. And
it's all about being grounded. I do remember somebody saying, I was in a restaurant one time and somebody was asking me for my autograph at the height of Gladiators, and somebody goes, does it bother you when somebody asks you for your autographs while you're, having dinner and everything? I said, no, it's going to bother me when it stops.
Oh, that's true. It's like, yeah.
So
I'm like, as long as someone wants to take my picture or listen to my podcast, like I just feel like very special.
Yeah. And I don't know, is it, I mean, I'm confident. I'm not arrogant. I never take it for granted because I know it can end tomorrow. Yeah. I'm very appreciative of what I'm doing. However, it's a lot of fucking work. I mean, this isn't something that was just handed to me. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like ever since with Gladiators, even when I was on Gladiators, it's been a constant hustle. Yeah. I'm a hustler.
Yeah. You are, and you're doing it. And I mean, you're even like getting the band back together. Like you're spearheading, getting everyone together.
It's like, woohoo, let's go.
But it is like a good thing to get everyone together. And you're like, I think maybe you mentioned like the show Friends, or in the documentary, it's like people watch it for them and them being together. And I think that's the same with the Gladiators. Like, I think.
Yeah. And it's interesting because like you said earlier in the podcast about Netflix, and we did, each one of us did a 6-hour interview, but they missed the boat when they didn't pull us all together as a group.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they didn't do that.
That needs to happen.
Because there's so much energy. You saw just a little bit of the energy with 4 of us together.
Yeah.
10 of us together is just like the room explodes with energy. Oh. And there's so much fun, and there's so much, laughter and things like that. And I don't know why they didn't do that. I have no idea. Yeah. And yet in our contract, we can't touch a documentary for like 2 to 3 years or something like that. And they don't want to do it. We've already pitched it to them. We're like, do a reunion, do an entire thing. Yeah, we're done.
Maybe once that contract runs out, then
I know,
bring everybody together with somebody else.
We're gonna try something like that.
I mean, yeah, I think you definitely need to. That would be really nice. Well, I don't want to keep you too much longer, but
Girl, come on, let's keep going. What other questions you got on that thing? I only hit like 2 or 3 of them. My God, what is this? Hold on, see this? Hold on, let me ask myself some questions here. Holy
Some of them
shit.
are just notes that like provoke questions.
Exactly.
So I'm like,
God. And
that's so funny.
Since I don't have all my glasses on, I mean, it's that's.
Oh, you want me to read some? I can just read the.
So wait, how old are you? 38?
37.
37.
So yeah.
Okay, wait till you're 40. You know what's going to happen? You're like, la la la. What the fuck? All of a sudden you're going to need like, I don't know what it is. Literally, you can read things really close, and all of a sudden when you're 40, you just kind of start pulling them back. Like, what the fuck?
I think I have like a small prescription and I was like, oh no, I'll hold off. I think the muscles in the eyes just start getting like a little more relaxed or something.
I don't know what it is. You're fun to talk to. What else we got?
You're fun to talk to as well. I know. I'm like, I don't want to keep you if you have to go, but yeah, I was going.
I have
through,
no
like,
life.
On my same. That's why I like wanted to create one with this podcast.
Yes.
I'm like, and my therapist was like, the podcast is a great idea. That way you'll like talk to people and spend more time with people, and because I'll just hole up in my house.
Really?
And just.
It's very true. And that's the other thing. As we get older, there's like, you just have that really small handful of friends.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't like during COVID, I had no problem during COVID. I didn't have a lot of friends that I went out like, so it's like, oh, I could just totally kick it at home. Yeah. That's no big deal. you know?
Yeah. It's hard having that many friends, and friendship for me, like at the mansion, was really hard.
Yeah.
So a lot of those people were very cutthroat, and I couldn't trust anybody.
The twins looked like they were cutthroat as hell.
Oh my gosh, those poor girls. God. I know. They hopefully they're doing okay now, but they. Okay, we're gonna flip the script here. Who is the biggest one that you felt sorry for? Oh my gosh, it would probably be the twins. Or there's another girl that had like a really bad eating disorder. I felt so bad for her. I know.
Wow.
So, some of the girls that just couldn't pull out of things like that.
Yeah.
I've really had a soft spot for. Mm-hmm. And the twins were absolutely horrible to me, but I did have a soft spot for them.
I could totally see that. I could totally see them being totally bitchy.
I know they were, but they were young.
Yeah.
They were like 18 when I was there, 18 or 19 when I was there.
Damn.
So
Kendra started out at 18 too.
Oh, Kendra. Yeah. But
she was like a spitfire, kind of like on her own accord kind of thing, I guess.
Yeah. Gemini. She's just like does her own thing. And
what sign are you again?
Taurus.
That's right.
I'm like the boring one.
No, you're not boring one. My last girlfriend was a Taurus. She just never said I was sorry.
Oh, really? Stubborn?
Very.
Oh my gosh. Stubborn.
But then again, it depends on your rising sign.
Yeah, I'm rising Sagittarius.
Oh, okay.
How about you?
I'm an Aries/Aries.
Wow.
Yeah. I have an Aries rising too, which is really like, whoa.
Aries rising, Aries sun.
Yeah.
Do you know your moon or?
I don't. I had my charts done so many times.
Yeah.
It was really, I love that stuff.
I know, me too. I have a woman who I always talk to, and I send her, like, if I'm dating someone else, and I always ask them, like, what's your birthday time? Yeah. And then she'll like do the analysis for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like the last one, she's like, oh, he has no fire signs in his chart. So maybe you'll be the one that's like having to have all the fire, and it'll be boring.
Yeah, because Sagittarius is fire, isn't it?
I think so. Fire.
Is Taurus?
Taurus is earth.
That's what I thought.
Aries is fire for sure. Yeah, Jeremy's Aries too.
You're an Aries too?
Yeah. My sister's an Aries.
What's your birthday?
April 6th.
Okay. I was going to say April. March 28th.
Oh, that's cool.
My girlfriend's an Aries as well. April 3rd.
Okay.
So two Aries living in a household together. But you know what's cool about that is that we understand each other.
Yeah, the same signs really understand each other.
Yep.
But
she's a little bit more I want to say patient than I am.
Okay.
And when I throw my fit, she'll like let me throw my fit, you know?
Cute.
And then she'll look at me and go, "Are you done?" To where my Taurus girlfriend would be like, you know, like we would like, you know, both of us at each other, you know, and then it just fire me up that much more.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. How long was the Taurus relationship?
Let's see. April and I are going on 14 years. I know. Wow. I'm a lifer. April and I are going on 14 years, and Sharon was 13 years.
Oh my goodness.
And the relationship before that, Trinity, was, I want to say, 8 or 9 years.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, long term.
So April's funny. She's like, I'm going to beat Sharon. I was like, really? That's your goal?
Oh, but that's cute. That's really cute. That's really cute.
It's awesome. That's good.
That's really cute. And do you stay friends with anybody?
Yes.
Okay.
It's funny you say that, because girls do stay friends with each other most of the time when they split up, because we become best friends first, kind of in a way. Yeah. And so Sharon, she lives in Florida. And so April and I will actually go back and stay at her place when we go to Florida.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, we stay with her. We're best friends. I talk to Sharon probably every other day.
Wow.
And then my girlfriend before her, Trinity, we used to talk a lot, but she lives in Texas now. So it's like once every week or two, something like that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. We've all remained
cool.
friends.
Yeah, that's cool. Because I know some people like get jealous if, people talk to their exes.
But I think it's a guy thing.
Really?
I really do. Yeah. Because it's like guys don't think that you can be friends with a guy because they always have the sexual motive that they want to be with you.
Interesting.
When girls split up, they're like, done. Want nothing to do with you. And we look at each other and go, what the hell did I see in you? Even though we're friends.
And you can just laugh about that.
Yes. Yes.
Wow. That's really cool.
So it's different.
You just
remain, there's an adjustment period, like 3-4 months, but it's not like
years.
years.
That's like a short adjustment period.
Maybe 6. Depends on how bad the breakup was.
It's hard. I feel like it's hard to go. But I really appreciate that because it's hard to go from like best friends. Because I've had long term and it's like they become your best friend.
Yeah.
And then if you don't talk to them anymore, it's like, how do you go from being a best friend to a total stranger?
Yeah, it's too hard.
I've always had a hard time with that.
Yeah. So it's, I think it's a little different with, with girls and guys. That's the only thing I can think of, because the guys are like, oh, absolutely not. You're not speaking to your ex. How dare you?
Yeah. The only person I knew that was friends with their exes was Hef. Because he was, he kept in contact with everybody and people would come around, like Barbie Benton.
I was going to say, Barbie's been around forever. She was on every like Girls Next Door.
She was, and she was so interesting. I remember going to her house and she is married to this like really rich guy. And, I remember he was a little bit weird and she just kind of pushed him out, like he was trying to talk and she's just like, and then there's like all these massive photos in her home of herself, like her own face.
That's funny.
Like, oh, this is hilarious. Yeah. She was like a little bit, like pushy and just, she made Hef like travel around the world. He didn't ever like to leave the house. So
wow.
I think her aggressive nature was kind of good for him.
Probably. He became like a recluse and she pulled him out.
Yeah. So
like, we're traveling.
Barbie, Sandy, Mandy, Brandy.
My God.
So many. And yeah, and he was friends with Kendra would come by.
How do you feel being the last?
Oh my gosh.
Think about that one. You're literally the last.
I know.
Of the line.
I know. I don't know. Like,
you should ask your therapist.
I know. Well, whatever it was, I know it's so weird. It was weird to be there, like the very end.
I bet.
Like death is very hard for me.
I'll be honest with you. I cried at that part in your book. It was hard. I was like, oh my God, that would be hard. Yeah, April's like, I'm reading the book. She's in like in the living room. She's like, is everything okay in there? I'm like, yeah, it's fine. She's like, is it sad? And I go, yeah, a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was good though. That's good.
Yeah, death is
the
hard.
words were, in the book, it was, when you're reading the words, it's like different than watching a movie or something, Yeah. I don't know, maybe we'll make it into a movie.
Oh my gosh. Maybe. We'll see.
Who would you have play you?
I don't know. Whoever's like, hopefully they can make me look really, really good. What's her name? Sweeney's the new, I don't know. She's just like beautiful, blonde, booby actor.
Yeah,
she's
you'd have
like
to go through.
Always in like some like cute little thing. Sydney Sweeney, I think that's her name.
It would, for some reason, I don't know why I think this. Maybe it's just one of those little weird premonitions, but I have a feeling your book's going to turn into a movie.
Thank you.
Seriously.
I don't know. We will see.
Put it out into the universe.
We tried to.
If if that is something that you would be willing to like look at, if you put that in the universe, it definitely.
Oh my gosh,
kind of fun.
We'll try. We tried to get a Hef biopic going, but then Me Too happened and all the stuff. So
yeah,
maybe from the other point of view.
Maybe exactly. There you go. Exactly.
And I know I really, really want you to write a book. So maybe soon. And I gave you mine, and I'm like, oh, I really want to read hers.
I know. I got to find my story. I have a story.
You have an epic story, a crazy, fun, amazing adventure with good friends.
Yes.
I mean, I almost like envy that about like that part of your life where like you made such good friends with the people. Like I didn't really have that at the mansion, but so it's like.
Yeah, but it was extremely competitive. So maybe it might have looked that way. Okay, so let's go back into that.
Okay.
We were friends. We were family, but it was with the women, the girls, we were extremely competitive.
Really?
Ray Hollett and I would go on auditions, like, because we were the same.
Yeah.
Blonde, muscular, boom, same auditions when it came out, and she would do everything in the world to psych me out.
Really?
Yeah. She was very cutthroat when it came to that.
Okay.
Personal appearances, very cutthroat. Yeah.
It would have worked better if it was the other way.
Yeah.
I feel like for the mansion too, with a lot of those girls, they would like cut holes in clothing.
No.
It's horrible. Just so people would like look up, try and make them look ugly, or try and
Seriously?
make them. Yeah, it was very catty and competitive, and it was hard to make friends because everyone wanted your spot. Like everyone wanted, to be.
That's interesting, because that didn't come across in your book.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's really another twist,
Okay.
to the whole story, because nobody looks at it as catty and as competitive, and they would do things to make you look bad. Wow.
What if I guess people might have thought it was like pillow fights and
Just simple little things.
It's interesting because that's like kind of play fighting, like pillow fights or like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, no. Okay. Wow, that's interesting. So they were catty and they would like do things to try to make you look bad.
Yeah. I think I talk about it in the book that one girl, she had like a big Disneyland like rainbow lollipop and just like
Okay,
smacked
that I
it in my
remember.
hair. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like, what the heck? Like a lollipop is a weapon?
Yeah.
Like just straight up just hit me in the head with it. Wow. Like, what is going on here? But
that's nuts.
It was bad because everyone wanted my spot. I don't know if people were trying to replace you constantly. But
Constantly.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You're like,
Constantly.
I am too hot. I am not going anywhere.
I didn't think I was hot at the time.
I didn't either.
I didn't think I was hot at the time. I really didn't.
It's so crazy because I was like, I've like looked at all the pictures of you like from like through all like.
But I
the
kind of
years.
wasn't hot at the time, though, if you think about it either. No, look at the 80s. Look at the hair. It was all permed and,
It was so good.
Like,
it was
oh my
beautiful.
God. So I just didn't see myself that way.
You're like beautiful and strong, but at the same time looked like so wholesome and.
Thank you. Thank you.
It was, I definitely.
I appreciate
definitely
that.
admire that, but.
I do look back and I go, holy shit, my body was banging, and why didn't I appreciate it?
Oh my gosh, same. I looked at the Playboy magazine and the whole time I'm like, felt like fat, or I felt.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah, it's crazy.
My skin was like flawless, and I was
Yes.
like, oh, there's a mole right here and a dimple of something.
So that's why I always tell the girls now, I say, enjoy every moment. Yeah. Enjoy every moment that you have right now and how you look, because you're not going to look this way tomorrow or the next day or next 10, 15 years. I mean, you will tomorrow, but you know what I mean?
I mean, I have a problem with that, and I have a problem with like getting like aging. I do have a problem with that. So hopefully,
we talked about that yesterday
a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know why I feel like, because I think it just, life happens so fast.
Mm-hmm.
And it just happens so fast.
Girl, you have so many years in front of you. I'm so excited for your journey in front of you. I am.
I'm excited for yours. I feel like
I just started my second act.
Yes.
You know,
it's
I do.
here. It's here. And yeah, I'm excited for everything that you're doing. So
Thank you. So awesome. I'm so happy I met you.
Yeah, I'm so
what
happy.
What a random thing.
Yeah.
We weren't supposed to go to New York.
Really?
We got paid shit money to go there. And we didn't care because we knew that we were going to have a lot of connections.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that strange?
Yeah. I'm glad you got paid something or something.
It was such a bad deal.
Really?
You know?
I mean, that's how it is. Like everyone just wants to make it for themselves and not really share. And like,
I know. But I mean, I would have never met you.
Yeah.
We met another promoter, and he's awesome. And there's been a couple really amazing things that came out of that. And so that, and I knew that was going to happen. And that's why I wanted to go.
Wow.
I was like, I don't care how much we get paid. I mean, literally we got paid like $800 a day, which other people were getting like 10 and 20,000 a day.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That needs to definitely change.
Yeah.
But seeing you guys all together was really cool. Like even
fun.
just, I don't know, like even what you like moving around and by each other and like taps on the shoulder, like, you all right? And just like in that short amount of time, I'm like, wow, these are like people who really have each other's back.
Yeah.
Like literally. Like
We do. We totally do.
So.
Like Nitro and myself and Laser, we're all just, I love those guys. I do. They're like my brothers that I never had.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So it's cool.
They're awesome. And like, and everyone looks amazing. You know, like everyone in the documentary, I'm like, everyone looks like so good. And
it was fun to do. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. So this is the first in-person podcast. So.
Yay.
I knew, leading up to the book launch.
That's awesome. Thank you so much
you.
for having me on your podcast. It was fun. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Hopefully we can work out soon.
Let's do it. Grab Mike.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do it. Your biggest fan.
I love that.
No
Very cool.
10-page letters, Mike.
I know, right?
Okay.
It's all good.
Yeah. He's great. It's fun. You like him. All right.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.